And greetings, Commanders. Welcome to another episode of Homeworld Mobile Ultimate Guides. Today we're going to be looking at the new scanner rework from Update 1.8. Now, if you want to look back and see more of the 1.8 update changes, you can check out the video that we just released on that. But this one's going to go more in depth on the actual scanning. So one thing that we'll just kind of go through here first is if you click up on the top left and you player icon, and then you click your level, you'll be taken to your player profile. And we have this new tab up here called Codex. Click on that, go to Exploration, Scanning. We'll see that we can get some information on the new scanning systems. So basically it's going to be divided into two distinct phases. We're going to have detecting and analyzing. So detection is when we get to a new system, we're going to tap like we used to the center ring, and that's going to reveal a couple signals for us to later go in and analyze. So each time you click that detection, it's going to take 5% of your scanner charge. Also, analyzing will cost the same, and there's a little bit of a crit chance with this that will allow you to essentially double your strength in the analysis process, which can be hopefully upgraded with officers. I know scanning reliability and your scanning strength are upgraded with officers and modules. So we'll go over that a little bit more later. But as for, let's just kind of go through this codex here and get some more information. Our detection power is going to be a derivative of our sensor and modules and officers, and we'll have our centerpiece here, which is actually going to be the sensor, the button we click. The detection count is also going to be part of the sensor, so I'll go and I'll show you my tier 4 sensor and whatever the stats are for that. The overall charge can go between 0 and 150%. Everything above 100% is called overcharging, and essentially you'll see these little tick marks on the outside. This is going to tell us where the system rarity is, whatever we're looking at. So we can see that in a T0 system, it's always going to be common. Tier 1 systems, we're going to only have up to rares. And then T2 systems may have epic objects, so our scanner will be epic. And we'll see our detection power threshold here, where the tick marks, the blue, the green, the purple, have changed position. This means that the system is easier to scan, essentially, if those tick marks are further around to the left, closer to the 10% mark. If you visit a system that is below the tier of your scanner, the thresholds will be a lot lower. So this is a correlation between the system level and tier and your sensor level and tier. So we'll get into that a little bit too more. And the analyzing reliability and strength is going to essentially be a range that's going to be randomly generated when you analyze it. The closer it is to the higher number, the more of that signal that it analyzes. A couple things that we'll find here with that are new are going to be these lost black boxes. So these are going to be a chance to get some rewards through here, either insignias, fragments, or materials. Basically, you'll scan it, we'll pop it up at the bottom, and you'll have to analyze it to collect it. The next thing are batteries. These are going to be new. These are really silly. Like, why do I need whatever, I'm not going to get it too far into it, but we have batteries now and they're great. You need to overcharge your scanner. If you're in like a tier 4 system and you have a tier 4 scanner, you're definitely going to need to overcharge with batteries to be able to detect epic or rare signals. We'll see that the common batteries are 25% plus for your sensor, uncommon are 50, rare 75, epics are plus 100%. Now we can actually fabricate these as well. Common batteries are just found and in signals, but uncommon, rare, and epic batteries are gonna be blueprints that you have to fabricate yourself. Now when you first log in, you should get some more too. I think everybody gets a full set. I'm not sure actually how that works, but I think everybody gets a full set of batteries, epic, rare, common, and uncommon in various quantities when you first log in. But otherwise, in the market, we'll be able to purchase a daily set, and this is going to be in the code fragment section. No, I'm sorry. This is going to be in the, I guess, just the regular market. It's all the way down at the bottom near where the kit changes and the name change and the relocation tickets are. So every day you can purchase up to 10 of these. I'm going to purchase these for foreseeable future, because I do kind of go through them pretty quickly. So we purchased those. Now we want to look at our sensor on my flagship. So we go to external, we'll go to our sensor array. This is going to be where we can assign our, and we can upgrade it. We'll see that this first sensor range, this is going to be the blue bubble. For every flagship, this is going to be different for every sensor. It's going to be different, but when we go into our sensors manager, this blue bubble from here to here is 115. So we'll go back, external, sensor. Detection power is going to be 560. This is going to be an analog of how much the sensor is upgraded, versus how much it's not upgraded. So we'll see that when I click this, this is going to give me a plus 40 detection range, a strength of plus 41, and a reliability of plus 13. So the reliability is floor, the strength is the top one, and then my detection count is essentially always going to remain the same. It's dependent on the tier of sensor. So if I used a tier 3 sensor, for example, my detection count would be 4. I'm actually just going to upgrade this a couple times because I like power, but it's going to take forever. Alright, so that's as far as I can upgrade it up to 7%. Now the scan critical scan, this is still unsure of what the crit chance is, but I think it helps with improving the analyzation of sensor objects in the system. But there are others. So we'll go to our bridge, and I'll just show you what officers I have. I have a analyzing strength plus 24%. So this is going to be the top end of my strength. I can go a little bit further, and you will probably get analyzing reliability, which will be the bottom, and bring up that that random number a little bit more. And in addition to that, we also have sensor scan boosters. So this is going to increase the reliability by 14% at level 7. Upgrade this a few more times. I think it's a total of 16-18% total. So I'm thinking about upgrading a tier 4 system, getting that in there, getting a couple of those in there. And then these sensor range boosters increase that that 115 number that we saw at the beginning. So that's going to increase our blue range, and then the system scan booster is increasing the sensor strength, analyzing strength. All right, so let's get in here. I'm just going to show you the system that I've already scanned a little bit. I've already done some unknown signals, and we'll just kind of go through. Over here on the left, we have our batteries available. Once you click these, that's going to charge your scanner. So just know that. Just don't start tapping over there if you don't want to. This is what I ended up coming out with of this particular signal. So this is Akalayasa, which is a Ayakote liaison shop. And I've gone through and done a couple of the comments already, but I just allow I'll show you how from the beginning how it starts up. But essentially, you'll have each one of these. You'll need to analyze them, and once you analyze them, the signal becomes available to jump to. And you can see that as I analyzed it, it actually decreased my little sensor here by 5%. Now this is going to recharge 3% every minute, so in 2 minutes it'll be back up to 100%. Don't worry about that too much. We'll get into that a little bit more, but essentially how I like to do this is, let's go to a new system and try it out. So I'm going to stick with tier 3 because I have a tier 4 sensor. It's going to allow me to see a lot more tier 3 systems, and we'll see this when we jump into this one. And I'll jump into a tier 4 system after this so we can see what the difference looks like. But with a tier 4 now level 7 sensor, we'll see that my scan lines are a little bit less than 100%. So that means that I don't need to use any batteries whatsoever to scan this system and find epics, right? As long as this is purple and this says epic, every time I press this button, I have the chance to find epics in a target list. Now I see I clicked it once and I got 5. That's because my detection limit is 5. I can see 5. Every time I click this button, I'm probably going to get another 5 or 4, but mostly I'm going to get 5. So now I got 10 signals. 3 of them are epics. I got 3 rares, which I love to see, and I'm just going to keep clicking this. Just keep going. Boop, 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 boop. It takes like 2 or 3 seconds, and then after a while, it becomes grayed out. Now, this is a little bit of a pain point for me because this should visually look like I can't access it, but I can. So now we'll see I have a list of unknown signals. Now sometimes these signals actually do pop up in the analyzation. So maybe you don't have to actually analyze this, but what I like to do, as long as this is still epic, I'll go ahead and click analyze. And I'm going to show you here. So tier 3, level 4, right? I don't know what this one is, but one single click of the analyze got it up to 76%. Now, if I bet you if I did that again, I'd probably get 70 or 60%. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take one of my batteries, I'm going to charge it up over 100%. And I'm going to do it again. Now, when I click analyze here, this should give me a full 100% on this signal. But it doesn't. It gives me 81. Which isn't that bad. It's just going to require 2 clicks every time I want to do this. So I'm just going to keep on going through all the rares and the epics in here, and I'm going to just analyze them while my sensors are still epic. And see, I could have probably just gotten away with 1 battery, or I didn't even need to use a battery at all to stuff. And the last thing I want to do is these. These are going to be the lost black boxes. It just says unknown find, but you'll see that this icon is a little circle compared to like this target icon or this like yellow one. So when I click analyze here, it's gonna give me a percentage. Oop, 99%, 100%. Sometimes this will get all the way up to 100 to 99%, but it won't actually complete it. Sometimes I find that just like leaving this and going back here will rescan some of these, or like finish scanning it. It just didn't go far enough. And from here we just collect it. Boom, we got some tier 3 REs. Great stuff. And then I'm just going to continue to do this. So I got cloud script error, index was out of range. That's weird. Let's do it again. Now this has actually happened to me before. Whenever what I first did was I click this one because it just takes so long to do all of them. You just click that one, and then as soon as this one came up, you'd analyze it, and if you did this fast enough, you'd kind of get that error again too. But you don't need to do this. You don't need to waste this. So now that I've got all these signals, I'm just going to go to one of the blue ones, analyze that, run it, and pew, 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 pew,
Destination locked in.
pew, 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 pew.
Watch for debris. Come get some.
Alright, so now I'll come back here from the signal. I've completed it, and my list is kind of reorganized a little bit because I've had some of these analyzed, and all the unknown signals kind of sit down at the bottom. So what I like to do is just keep on completing all the blue missions, all the common ones. And then once I get to another mission that I have, you'll see that my bar here is going to charge up to about 100%. So every time I click analyze, this is going to take me 5% down from where I was. I start the mission in 2 minutes. It'll be back a little bit further. So I never have to actually drain my sensor to do this. I'm going to do all these signals at one at a time. It makes sense to analyze all the signals first and then run through them, but I'm going to show you that it just makes a little bit more sense to do it like this.
Moving to debt collector drawing fire. We got company.
Pew pew. Pew 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 pew. Alright, so now we complete this, we'll see my bar ticked up a little bit higher, and actually if I could just continue doing these common signals, my bar will get all the way back up to 100. So as for that, you don't really have to drain your battery all the time and then like completely wait for it to charge back or waste batteries. I highly recommend not wasting batteries, just buying common ones and following this method so you don't have to actually waste all that. Now there's still some kind of weird stuff with this. One, if you do a mission, let's say this progenitor signal, I'm going to go ahead and jump to it. If you start this mission and then emergency jump out of it, that mission will be removed from the list. So be very careful if you're going to do epics or rare missions, and you have to inevitably hyperspace out because you will lose access to doing that one. Now it looks like those signals are going to be generated for you as the player and not for everybody else. So not everybody's going to be able to go to this system and find this progenitor signal, but you will be able to see that. And I believe that these signals reset every 24 hours or every 7 systems that you visit. So if you visit another system, if you do like 7 systems over and then you jump back to this one, then you'll be able to redo these epics again. I haven't actually tested that yet. I actually really enjoy this because now I get like 15 to 30 signals per mission per system, and I just run through all of them. With my epic crit scan and all this kind of stuff, I can just get epic signals, and we'll see that now that we've come back here, that progenitor signal is no longer in my list. So just be careful. Those epics will go as soon as you. It's not sure if this is a bug or not yet, but we know that those signals will get lost. Now looping is still a thing, so you can still go to the chat, make a group, and loop these epic signals. Now they're a little bit easier to get like this. However, it seems that now every week these signals are going to reset, so there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve here, figuring out how to best utilize the system to get epic signals. So far this is a tier 4 flagship, looking in tier 3, and we're having a pretty awesome time finding epic signals. Now I'm gonna see if I have one in storage, if I have a tier 3 sensor, and then we can pop in somewhere else and see if that's gonna be any different.
We got company.
Pew pew. Pew 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 pew.
Moving to debt collector drawing fire.
Come get some.
We got company.
Pew pew. Pew 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 pew.
Moving to debt collector drawing fire.
Come get some.
So here we have a flagship with a tier 3 sensor. First of all, let's see how this looks in our same system that we've been in. So previously with the tier 4 system, I had a rare tick right here. So pretty much everything under 100%, everything between 80 and 100% was going to be epic signals. So now I'm going to have to actually charge my sensor past 100% to be able to find epics with this type of sensor. And this is going to be an absolute waste for me. But let's actually see. It looks like the system, I won't be able to find any epics with this sensor at all. Oh, if it gets up to 150%, I get that epic scan. So that's good to know. That purple tick mark is actually hiding. I can see it. It is there. Yeah. The purple tick mark is right there.
Watch for debris.
Come get some.
So yeah, once you charge it up to 150%, you'll be able to scan for epics. Now this means that you have to keep it literally at 150% to be able to do this. I don't have the resources to upgrade this sensor right now, so I'm not going to be able to improve it. But it just goes to show that a tier 4 sensor is going to perform excellent in tier 3. However, a tier 4 and a tier 3 sensors are going to be kind of cutting it on the edge for your systems that you want. So it's going to be actually kind of hard to find tier 4 epics. Now, this is also system based, so if I jump to another tier 3 system, those tick marks might not be in the same place. And this hasn't been necessarily answered by the devs yet, but it is a relationship between the tier of the system and the level of the system, as well as the tier and the level of the sensor. So we saw that I had a tier 3 sensor. I think I talked about this already. I have a tier 3 level 7 sensor, and in this tier 3 level 7, it's still right here, but when I go to a tier 1 or a tier 3 level 1 system, here's tier 3 level 2. Let's see what my scan bar looks like on this. So this should be a much wider difference in what my scan sensor is and what my system level is. And I think there's actually some probably hidden variations too on why those tick marks are in the places that they are for that particular system. But this one looks like it's exactly the same. So there's going to be more research need to be done on what actually affects those tick marks around the sensor bar there. But for now, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Homeworld information. Don't forget to do your dailies.